Hey everybody, it's Menz here, doing a quick little review of the new Tier 8 Czechoslovakian Premium Medium Tank. It's been a long time coming, the Skoda T27 here. As of 1.6, the video is releasing here, and 1.6 is releasing on NA and EU, and it's been out on RU. We're kicking off Tank Festival, which is kind of a 2-month long event, 2 frontline episodes. You have a basically racing mode and also a battle royale mode coming. You can earn like special dog tags and stuff like that, but more importantly for this video, the Skoda T27 somehow is going to be roped into a kind of like marathon slash, like they're calling it like a super top of the tree event for the Czechoslovakian tech tree, kind of coinciding with the holidays, I guess, over in Czechoslovakia. I don't know exactly. They didn't give us full details on that, except for the tank here to test. I played a couple battles in it. I haven't played a ton of battles in it. I'm kind of short on time here in the summer, but I've talked about this tank before on one of my What's New videos, which hopefully I'll start releasing them again. Work's just been a little difficult for me schedule-wise, but anyway, getting into the tank here. Obviously, you can see it has a pretty epic custom style here that you can earn. Good thing is you can obviously take it off wherever this thing is. There you go. You can take it off if you'd like, or keep it on, and you can apply it to other tanks, if you would like. I think it looks pretty neat though when it comes down to red, white, and blue. But in any event, there's going to be some way to either earn this tank, or at the very least the special style. I don't know if they're just going to sell this tank, or maybe you can just earn the style. Who knows exactly how this is going to work. In any event, is this tank good? A lot of people think it's going to suck. Not to sugarcoat it. I'm going to play a battle after going through a quick little breakdown. I've done this on one of my What's New videos already, but for those that haven't seen that, they did kind of nerf this tank since a lot of people probably saw it the first time. It was really, really good. Now, it's balanced. It's a decent tank. There's nothing, overly like great or overly bad about it. Now, before I do this, I probably should pop in here. So, an explanation of why this tank is a little bit different. It's basically it says a post-war light tank, and it's historical reference. Make of that as you will, because this tank isn't 100% historically accurate if you listen to people who know a lot more about tanks than me. So it says it's based on the T17 light tank, blah blah blah, but basically you can kind of deduce from that this thing doesn't really play as like a medium per se. It plays more, it skews a little bit towards a light tank. So getting into that, I'm not including the TVP VTU in this comparison because A, everybody knows that tank's god awful, B, it doesn't have autoloader, so it doesn't really compare. But yeah, in any event, I have the Lorraine 40T, Progetto, Skoda T27, and the Batchat 12T. Interesting that I threw this in here, but you'll see why. All 100% cruise, no equipment, no camouflage, just basic stuff here. So getting into the swing of things, 240 damage per shot, 202 millimeters of penetration. So when it comes to that, obviously more than light tanks, a little bit less than your typical medium, like the newer premium ones. And some of the tech tree ones that are newer, but 202 is a decent shell. Your premium shell is 242, which is a little bit lower than you'll see on some premiums. Medium tanks, like the newer ones, focusing on their guns. So, the penetration's okay. Alpha damage is okay. You have 3 shells, and it fires 1.8 seconds between each shell, which is really fast. It's faster than the Progetto, the Lorraine, and also the Batchat 12T. So those 3 shots you get off really quick. If my math's correct here, 720 damage as far as your alpha goes, which is higher than the Batchat 12T. Basically the same as not the Skoda, the Progetto here, lower than the Lorraine 40T. What that leads to, DPM wise, you can see it has less DPM than the Lorraine and the Progetto, and a little bit more than the Batchat 12T. So firepower is okay. The Progetto is obviously, kind of it's a pretty good tank. Like the DPM on that's a little bit higher if you're shooting one shot at a time too. But for the most part, the gun on this, it's okay. It's nothing great. It's nothing bad. Accuracy 0.36, nothing to scoff at. It's not laser accurate. It's also not super derpy. On the move accuracy feels a little bit bad in my opinion. Just generally speaking, like it feels worse than say a Batchat 12T. Feels closer to like a Lorraine 40T. Just, you know, from the couple battles I played so far. Aiming time, you know, it's okay. Nothing special. Nothing, you know, overtly bad. Gun depression, -8 degrees is good. Gun elevation, good there. So, you know, when it comes down to this tank, you can kind of see the turrets placed towards the front. For the most part, you're going to be able to fight decent on hold down. You can get your shots off quick, those 3 shots, kind of scoot away. You don't have a ton of DPM compared to like a non-autoloader, but your DPM's in line with other autoloaders. So, again, nothing crazy special or crazy bad. Still better than the TVP VTU though. When it comes to hit points, you know, typical medium. It's in between a Lorraine and a Progetto. It's more than a light tank. Nothing to see there. When it comes to armor, your armor will protect you sometimes against like tier 6 shots. Specifically your turret, you can see it's 100 millimeters all around. And getting into things here though, let's just preview this. When it comes to like looking at the actual armor here, which this mod's basically in Aslan's mod pack, it's an armor viewer. Wargaming, please add one into the game. You can see effective wise, it's nothing crazy good. Like the whole, again, tier 6s might bounce, especially if you angle a little bit. But for the most part, that 100 millimeters on the turret doesn't do too much outside of around the mantlet area. You can get some blocks, but even there, it's not super duper strong. And, you know, it's just basically based off of angles. Nothing too surprising. But it is better armor-wise than obviously the Lorraine 40T, better than the Progetto, better than the Batchat here in the comparison. So it's got a little bit of things going for it. And like, not to keep popping out here, when you're hold down, considering the turret's towards the front, it's going to be a little bit hard to hit you. You might get some more bounces in no tanks. You just don't want to rely on it. Moving down here to the important bit, the mobility. Specific power. Better than a Lorraine, better than the Progetto, worse than the Batchat 12T. However, the 50 kilometers an hour, really, I don't know why it's 50. Like, it kind of gimps you in a little bit. Obviously, it's slower than pretty much all the tanks in this comparison here. And you hit that really easily. It just feels like it's gimped a little bit by the top speed. Considering this is supposed to be like a lightish medium tank, you know, it's really mobile, like with that great specific power. It's just the top speed limits you a little bit. That's the biggest complaint I have about this tank, because it's got a really tough, you know, strong engine here, 900 horsepower, and yeah, it's just one little gripe I have of this. Concealment, as you can see, surprisingly, Lorraine 40T has more concealment. However, the concealment's decent, 13. Granted, you know, it's a medium tank, so while you're moving around and stuff, it's lower, especially compared to, you know, the Batchat that's light. And, you know, firing, it's pretty bad. And view range, nothing really to see here. Same as Lorraine 40T, worse than a Progetto 46. So, like, overall, like, I know a lot of people, honestly, I think the style's awesome. A lot of people are probably going to beat up on this tank, which let's get into a battle here. Because I don't have a ton of time to record this. Sorry if I feel like I'm rushing. When it comes down to this, I think this is, like, a good thing on Wargaming's end. Before they nerfed this tank, I believe it had more mobility. I believe it also had more DPM. I think the accuracy was better on it. There were, like, I'll give them credit, which, oh my god. You guys get, you know, basically a raw cut of good or bad battles when it comes to replays here. And I got myself Himmelsdorf in this tank. God help me. So, before they nerfed it, before, you know, kind of hitting us CCs here and, like, final testing, the tank, honestly, it was a little too good. It felt on par with the Progetto 46, possibly even better than the Progetto 46. And they nerfed it a bit, which some people might give them crap for and say that this tank sucks. But I'm perfectly fine with it. The tank, while it isn't like mind-blowingly good, it's not bad. It's just kind of like middle of the pack as far as like a tier 8 tank, a medium that plays like this is, and I don't have a problem with it, except for, like, I feel like the top speed, they can make it like anywhere from like 55 to 60, and I feel like that would be good. That's the only thing I feel like this tank could need to make it like feel a little bit more special. Right now, you know, it feels like basically you're playing a down-tiered Skoda at tier 9, which is great. Unfortunately, you know, you still have the standard TVPU or TVP VTU in the tech tree, which is god-awful. Hopefully they do something to that tank. This tank, I'd say, is better than that tank. Not by, like, leaps and bounds before they nerfed it, but it's still way better than it because the TVPU is basically one of the worst tier 8s. Most people can agree on that at least. But, you know, just for the most part, though, I hope people don't beat up on this enough or a lot and say, like, oh, screw wargaming, they nerfed it, there's no point in getting it. And they're actually releasing something that's a balanced tank. I'll give them credit for that. And I do feel like if you have Czechoslovakian tanks, which a lot of people have because it's kind of a line that's been around for a while, it's worth picking this up. I don't know what event they're doing to kind of, whether you can get this for free or if you have to buy it and you can just earn the special style, because the style you can apply to other tanks. It's not just for this tank. I don't know if it's just for Czechoslovakian tanks or if it's for basically all tanks, but basically if I had to say whether you should buy this or not, if you like Czechoslovakian tanks, I'd say get it. Crew trainer and honestly credits, it'll be fine earning credits because it can pump out damage. It also can spot. So those two things, you know, being checked off is a good thing. Which crap, I'm gonna get probably focused here. I'm in a new tank and I have a spiffy paint job. I'd focus on me. So, like, game performance wise, it's worth it. Crew training wise, it's worth it. Is this thing like the next overpowered, like, oh my god, I need that thing? No. But that's just my, like, personal, honest review of this. Is it's worth it if you can, you know, use it as a crew trainer. If you like tanks like this, you know, pick it up. But it basically is, for lack of better words, like, I use this reference all the time, vanilla ice cream, where there's nothing special about it. And yeah, hopefully people like that though. Like, I'll give wargaming credit for nerfing this thing, because if they had left it like it was, I forget all the specific stats, but a lot of people probably can pull them up if you Google them. They could have left it, and honestly, I feel like the player base would be like, holy crap, this tank's great, and people would eat it up and buy it, and they wouldn't complain like wargaming's releasing like this crazy broken tank. It would be super good, but it wouldn't be like game-breakingly broken. This one, though, I'll give them credit though for actually balancing it, and albeit it's better than the TVP VTU. That's not a hard thing to surpass. So, you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed this like little honest review here. Obviously this battle kind of sucked, but yeah, that's just me playing Himmelsdorf and trying not to die in the first 30 seconds. I really don't want to mess up the first take of this. But as far as Tank Festival goes, I hope people enjoy it. Like, I don't know all the things that are coming out on Tank Festival. You can definitely probably check out, you know, worldoftanks.com or your respective server, their main portal, and they'll have more news about it now since 1.6 should be out. Which, thank you whoever just threw me a follow or a sub on Twitch. My lights are going off here. I'm recording this after my live stream. I'm cutting it a little bit close. As of the video coming out here, I'm recording this like 5 hours beforehand. But basically, for Tank Festival, there'll be something coinciding with this style or tank, you know, with the Czechoslovakian tech tree. There'll also be, on top of that, you know, dog tags that you can get to where if someone kills you, it shows you like a custom dog tag. And those dog tags, from my understanding, are only temporary during the event. I don't think they're permanent, but I could be wrong there. I think that's the last Wargaming's commented about them. Tank racing coming back, obviously, and on top of that, Battle Royale mode, which should be pretty awesome, from what I'm hearing. This tank, though, I think this is going to be a tank to where I always talk about, like, if you have a lot of premiums, like, is this one that you're going to want to, like, pop out and, like, play a lot of times? I think it's a tank that, you know, it's mobile. The gun's easy to use. It's not, like, too towards, like, high alpha dumping damage out. And, you know, it's a tank that, honestly, I could see a lot of people playing even after, like, the initial hype runs down. And that's not to say every tank falls into that, but At least for me, it's not like pulling out like a really slow, clunky tier 8. And, you know, I don't generally like pulling those out and playing them just on a whim. So this tank does have, like, say, replayable factors outside of just the crew training. But in any event, that last little bit, you know, helped me get over being a really crappy battle to where now we're just at an okay battle here. But thank you very much for watching this review. Let me know in the video comments if you know, obviously you agree or disagree. I think this is just perfectly balanced when it comes to, you know, it's not power creeping, say, tier 8s in general. Again, TVP VTU just sucks, but that's what it is at this point. And it's not, you know, it's not too good, it's not too bad. I think it's a pretty well done tank, and I think a lot of people are going to like it. And, you know, top 2 damage here, top 3 in the battle, I guess if you include that guy. But yeah, we did okay for Himmelsdorf. The word of gun, I like guns that with the 3 shots and getting them off really quickly, that's the strength of this tank. 3 quick shots, zip away. Albeit, I think it needs more, basically top speed. That would be awesome. But like comparing it to the TVP VTU, granted I used the big gun on this and the top turret, sue me. You know, this thing probably is going to be better than the TVP VTU. In any event, though, thank you very much for watching this tonight, guys. Or tonight, today, whenever. Oh, God. I'm still in, like, live streaming mode here. But I'll see you guys around. Thank you very much for watching this review. And, yeah. Have a blast trying to get this tank or the custom camouflage, depending on what this event's going to be. And, yeah, have a good one. See ya.